What's up, everyone? The video you're about to watch is our trip down to the Baja Coast, doing the humanitarian work and charity work with the My360 project. You all were a massive part of it. The charity shirt that we did for the spring release with American Roughneck, we raised thousands of dollars and we donated it all to the My360 project, and you're about to see what it actually does. This video, we've taken some time to film it simply because it was a lot for me to emotionally unpack. What you guys helped do is one of the most wild things I've ever been a part of in my life. I thought that I knew what was going to occur. I thought a whole lot of different things. I thought I was going to feel a certain way going down and a certain way coming back. And it was a lot different than I thought, in good ways and in some bad ways. And the video you're about to watch is absolutely incredible. And I hope you enjoy it. Please take the time to watch this whole video, feel it all, and see what you guys are a part of. All right, everyone. Jay and I have made it to San Diego. Long day of flights so far. I think we spent like 7.5, 8 hours on flights this morning. Up super early, but now we're just waiting on Daryl. We have another 6 hours in a vehicle on our way to Mexico here. So you guys are going to see it all. It's going to be an interesting trip. How you doing, Daryl?
Good. Seth, nice to meet you, my friend.
Yeah.
When I saw your verse, I'm like, yeah, you know what My360 is about. We create jobs for people.
I couldn't believe when I came across it, and I was just like, how ironic is it that the fact that that's something that I've kind of preached for the majority of my life and was raised on it and never heard it before in my entire life, even though I was raised in a Catholic school, went through it, all that. But it's one of those things that you just want to make sure that you instill that concept into at least your kids or the people you work with, so you know that there's value in life, there's value in work.
There is value in work.
Hey there, partner.
Get that tight ass in there. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, dude?
Zach, Seth's only dropped 3 F-bombs. It's not bad.
Yo,
Three.
He's on
Three,
a roll.
that's it.
That's the best he's ever done.
I didn't really know what to expect there, the coast, and who I was going to meet or what we were going to do and the feelings that I was going to feel. Driving through, it's not America, that's for sure. You can tell that very quickly crossing the border and then getting an hour in, 2 hours in, 3 hours in past the border. The smells are much different. And some of the villages there, they were in migrant fields for strawberries, tomatoes, and other fruits and veggies. The villages, some of the offsetting villages were incredibly poor, very poor. So some of you, maybe all of you, might be asking, what is the My360 project? So the My360 project is a humanitarian charity company owned and operated and ran by Daryl Carnley, who is a wonderful, unique, spirited, incredible person. His son, Colton, who also works for the My360 project, was with us on this trip. I was introduced to these guys through Zach Owens, who I go hunting with every single year. Zach lives out in Idaho, took me bear hunting, took me elk hunting. They are a humanitarian charity company where they build shoes for children that are less fortunate in certain parts of the world. We went to the Baja coast of Mexico. That's where our trip was. And then they also do work in Uganda over in Africa. They build shoes for these children. They do it through locally sourced materials from those specific areas. So we were in Mexico. We went to those areas in Mexico where they gather the materials.
We get the insole, and it's anti-microbial. And then we get this. We get this here, and so we sometimes get it out of Guadalajara, but it's the sole material.
So they were locally sourced materials supporting those local economies through the money that we donated, through the charity shirt that you guys bought and wear with pride. They sew them all together. They sew the soles, they cut the soles onto the materials of the shoe onto there, and then we make them on site. We tie them on site for the children, measure their feet and put them on them.
Colton, my son, he created the flat shoe, and that's how it starts. And you just pull a string, and it expands. It'll grow out of the heel for him, and it'll go out the nose, and then it'll go in and out of how the foot is.
The money that you guys used to purchase the shirt, that was 100% of the profits were gathered by us and given to the My360 project, and then they do whatever they do with it. So all the shoes, and then they also do other kind acts. On the way down, we were driving, he's like, so we're not gonna be painting houses. And I'm like, oh fuck, what are we gonna be doing then? He's like, we're gonna go pour a concrete pad. And I'm like, all right.
When we came to see her, there was a ramp coming down, but she couldn't get in and out of her house by herself because it was too steep, and she would just kind of like fall out of her chair.
She's in a wheelchair?
Yeah, she's in a wheelchair. And she has diabetes and has had to have her leg amputated because I'm sure a lot of lack of healthcare in the area.
What's exciting, Rose, is Seth doing what he did with the shirt. It gives us, in our shoe budget, we have a little bit of money that we can do stuff like this. And so it comes out of that $35 a pair. There's some money set aside that allows us to do more, you know, when you get more shoes sponsored. We kind of built it in there to try to do, we always try to paint a house, so but this is a little bit more because you guys are able to.
Yeah.
You like
it's exciting.
Yeah.
Glad we can help.
So you guys brought the guns and you brought the resources
don't
to
say
be able
guns
to do
in
this?
Mexico, okay?
Well, not like that kind.
So this is a worthy cause for the wheelchair situation. This is, it completely changed a life. Get out. Yeah, I love it.
She's excited just to be able to like get out and like get some fresh air during the day when her family's gone.
Well, we can mix and wheelbarrow, and you can finish.
Yeah. Good. The sand inside and same thing, mix.
We had to mix the concrete, you know, with cement, sand, and stone. So we mixed, it was a big pad by hand. As we were doing it, the woman was so grateful. I mean, like over the moon excited about what we were doing. It was really cool. What the My 360 project does is more than just put shoes on feet. One of the most touching, emotional, uplifting, exciting, roller coaster of emotion feelings I've ever had in my entire life. What I realized on this trip and why this was so special, and I've heard Daryl say it a few times, it's about the shoe, but it's not about the shoe. It's about the shoe because we're putting shoes, brand new, socks and shoes, onto children that don't get the opportunity to get new shoes or have a nice pair of shoes or any shoes at all, depending on the areas that they're in.
Probably haven't been here since 22 or 23. It's been a while. I don't know, not quite right. I have to look back at our map of giving. But when we started here, it was just huts. I mean, just plastic huts. And it's been cool to see them begin to grow into getting better houses and things. But there's still a massive need out here. There'll still be some huts that people are growing, but this is where they get to buy property, pay per month, you know, buy here, pay here, and then finally start building a house.
And this act that we do is an act of kindness where we wash their feet for them and then putting brand new socks and brand new shoes onto these children. And washing the feet of anyone or children it's not high on the list for really anyone to be like, I can't wait to wash feet. Feet are generally nasty and stink and have some crud on them or whatever it may be, calluses and all that. They're just nasty. So to be able to wash their feet, clean them up, put a fresh pair of socks on these kids' feet and brand new shoes, it puts a smile on their face like no other. And it's about the shoe, but it's not about the shoe. It's not about the shoe because now these kids get to go to sleep at night and lay there and think, what just happened? It makes them feel a certain way, and that's the goal, is to get them to think, to get them to understand that there are good people in the world that are doing nice things for them, just out of the goodness of their hearts. To make them know that there are people out there who love them, because love can be shown in different ways, love can be said in different ways. And in the same return for us doing those acts, it's about the shoe. We're providing the shoe. We donated money. Down in Mexico, there was kids that haven't had new pairs of shoes for years and years with holes in their socks and no socks and shoes that are beat to hell, and it's not about the shoe for us because of the way it made me feel. It made me feel so many different emotions washing the children's feet, but you could see that they were excited about putting brand new socks on their feet.
We'll see the prodigal return. We'll see a marriage on the rocks come back to life. We'll see the barren hold their babies, their babies. Impossible things we're gonna see with our own eyes. 'Cause the miracle worker's working a miracle out. The miracle worker's working a miracle now. The miracle worker's working a miracle out. The evidence is all around. Got the miracle worker's working a miracle out. The miracle worker's working a miracle now. The miracle worker's working a miracle out. The promise is you don't ever let your kids down. No, no, you never let your kids down. Never, 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 no. When you say you'll show up, you show up. When you say you'll come through, you always do. If you did it back then, you could do it now. 'Cause you don't ever let your kids down. And they call you a healer, 'cause you keep healing. They call you a savior, 'cause you keep saving. You did it back then, you could do it now. 'Cause you don't ever let your kids down. When you say you show up, you show up. When you say you come through, you always do. You did it back then, you could do it now. 'Cause you don't ever let your kids down.
Whenever we went down, Zach said that there's going to be times whenever you're just going to lose your shit. You're just going to get super emotional. And, you know, I'm a big, tough guy, but you have kids and you go see some of the shit that's down there. And this wasn't, it was crazy. There's way worse places in the world. The one that melted me and the one that literally sticks in my head to this day, and I think about every single day, and I really, really don't like it. I don't know why. I have a hard time accepting it, and it's I don't know. This young boy came and sat down, and you know, whenever you go down, we sit down, you know, you try and speak Spanish to him. You try and say, you know, what's your name? And it was funny because I'm just this big meathead sitting there, and they'd never seen anything like me, and it was fun. A little intimidating for some of them, beard, muscles, but he had on these rubberized, like Chuck Taylors. They looked like rubberized Converse, and they were old, they were nasty looking, but a lot of the kids there had rubber shoes because they were cheap and they were, you know, probably lasted a while and protected their feet. I took off his one shoe, and it was the most disgusting, nasty smell I've ever smelled in my life. Gag-esque, vomit-esque, filled with dirt, sand, sweat, stink. There was just shit gunked between the kids' toes and just caked under the kids' toenails. And I don't know what the expression on my face was. I don't know what it was, but the way it hit me, I was just in shock. And right there, I had this immediate, this dad moment of holy fuck, this is gonna be really nuts. I don't really know how long it takes to do a typical foot or anything, like a typical set of shoes, but I took my time on this one. And as I'm doing it, I just said, okay, I'm gonna start wiping the kids' feet down, take out all the gunk, get the towel and just start taking out all the gunk between each toe. And then looking at the toenails, scraping under each toenail with a towel, making sure it all gets out of there, rubbing it down, wiping it, doing the other foot, same thing. The whole time, I still, to this day, I think I can smell it on my hands. The whole time I was sitting there thinking, this kid hasn't washed his feet or hasn't had his feet washed, and dude, it had to be weeks. Like, the smell was ungodly. I never smelled anything like it. And, as I'm doing it, I didn't look up at the kid a whole lot as I'm cleaning the foot. But I remember as I looked up, I was just thinking of how he doesn't know any different, how sweet he could be, and how nice, and how weird this might be, but he doesn't know. And when I put on brand new socks onto his feet, like really comfy, tight white socks, that's what got to go onto the kid's feet. And when I put him on there, I did the whole, I grabbed a hold of his foot because his foot was clean. Just no shit under the toenails, scraped him clean. No sand, no nothing, and put on fresh new socks. Just like one of my kids got out of the shower and I got to rub his feet. Just rub it. All soft and nice. And then got to put the shoes on him. And as I do it, I look at the kid and there's a small smile on his face. And it was a lot. I get angry. That's one of the reasons I get angry. That story. I think that's one of the reasons that I am so angry from coming home from this trip. One of the shoe gives we went to, it was an Indigenous people of that area. There was a lot of them. There was probably about 60 kids there. And what we did was we went there, hung out with them, played soccer with them, fed them breakfast, and then did the shoe give. The houses, we didn't even get into that. They don't have electricity. They don't have refrigerators. They don't have floors. The houses were made out of crates, cardboard, and plastic. So there wasn't a floor and wasn't running water inside the house. So at the shoe give that we did, we gave out cereal and cold milk and bananas. And I've never seen kids so excited to have milk. It was just wild. It was.
We almost set. Yes. See.
For people like Daryl and most people who are faithful people don't have a foul mouth like me, even though I am a little rough around the edges, and I'm just me through and through. I'm a decent person. I'm just a little wild, and I'm always going to wear my heart and emotions on my sleeve. And Daryl said something that made me feel really nice. God knows your heart. It was nice to hear that, because that means that God knows my heart, and I do like to think that I have a good heart. What we've done at these companies and what we work for and the donations, we don't publicly talk about every donation that we make. We do things out of the goodness of our hearts. These people that run the My 360 project and what they're doing, it's life-changing. Not just for the children that we're putting shoes on. For you, for me, for a lot of people. It's cool because Daryl, him being a pastor, and he does say some out-of-pocket shit. And it's because you want to make sure that you get a hold of people. And sometimes, the different ways to speak to people or different ways to get people to listen or hear or feel isn't always, one way. And that's what makes the connection between myself and you guys so special, is because you guys know what I'm saying. Like, you guys like, who I am. I'm me. Fuck it. You either like me or you don't. There's quite a few people that don't like me, and that's perfectly fine. But understand that, you shouldn't be someone that you're not just to please other people. This trip taught me a lot about my emotions, and I still haven't completely unpacked the trip. emotionally. The people that are involved with it, they're actually making a difference. And what Jay and I, what we've been discussing is how impactful this trip was on us, but also how this was just one tiny dot on the map. How big the world is, and how impactful it was on he and I and the people that we were there doing this with. And how also, in order for charities like this to operate, it needs all types of different people. It needs people that are small donors, people that just buy one pair of shoes a month, one pair of shoes per month. They need people that are big donors, tens of thousands of dollars. They also need people that are willing to go on the trip and put boots on the ground and get more involved. It's about doing a good act and becoming part of something that's way bigger than you in a way that you don't really completely fully understand. And I thought I understood it, but I didn't. This trip changed me in a way that I'm still trying to figure out because it was so intense emotionally. It needs everybody in order for these things to work. We had a pretty big impact on that small area. And it was crazy because of how emotional it is. It's impossible not to get emotional or feel something new. Life is full of experiences, and it is a unique opportunity that I have in my life. And you guys do as well. If you guys want to donate to the My 360 Project, the link is in the bio. Again, thank you guys for everything. What we do here at these companies is the coolest thing in the fucking world. We get to make supplements, cool apparel, energy drinks, and live our lives doing what we love to do. It's a special thing. I'm grateful for it. This trip helped me gain some more perspective on all of that. And for all of you, I cannot stress to you enough to continue to be good motherfuckers. And it's okay to be a little fucked up. God knows your heart. And if your heart's in the right place, you're gonna be just fine. Keep being good motherfuckers. And thank you.